But like, why is Mike still a bubonic plague? Like he's been that same thing for 3 years now. Like, it's not funny anymore. Do something different. You're the goddamn fucking champion of this league, and that's the weak ass name you come with. Pathetic. Do better, Mike.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what a week. What a week. Week one is finally here, the day we were all waiting for. And we got off to a good start Thursday night, didn't we? You guys ever heard of this Kareem Hunt guy? Pretty good. Pretty good. Unordinary start to the fantasy football season. Really weird. Had some big performances, some small-time performances. Some guys didn't even show up. We had some injuries. Here to talk about it with me are Kyle and Dante. Hey, guys, how's it going?
Hey.
Oh, wait. No. Wait, hold on. Before that, I'm sorry. I already said his name, and I just can't stop thinking about him. And before I Kareem my pants, his name's just staring at me. And right next to that name, 43.1 points. Oh, my God. GAWD. What a day. What a day for Kareem Hunt. And the cherry on top of the Patriots losing. Oh, my gosh. It doesn't get any better. I was borderline blackout drunk at the bar watching this man-child who was younger than me just go off. 3 touchdowns, 200-some yards. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the real deal. Don't even send me your DMs. I don't want to see that trash. He's the god. The god. Becky, I'm sorry you had to be the victim of that. But at least you had David John. Oh, shit. Is that too soon? Too soon? Oh, well, at least you had that Steelers defense to lead the way. Just wasn't enough. Wasn't enough for the highest scoring player of the week. Your very own Cummish God, Gift God, Pod God. Insert Jamaican air horns here. 1, 2, 3. I mean, my bench almost beat your freaking starters alone, Becky. You should be embarrassed, disgraced. What a pitiful outing. You had 2 legitimate first-round picks in David Johnson and Michael Thomas. They didn't even break 20. Ugh. And then Tom Brady, the GOAT. My ass sucks. 9.2. Kirk Cousins almost put up as much as that, and he sucks. Whew. Man, I'm almost out of breath. I'm getting a little dizzy looking at the rest of my team. It's just so good. All the numbers. I'm not a big math guy, but wow. My head's starting to spin like one of those Zach Galifianakis hangover gifs. Whew. Oh, hey, Dante and Kyle. Sorry, I didn't realize you guys were here. I was kind of roster baiting a little bit. Sorry you guys had to see that. Cut that part out. How's it going?
Apparently not as good as you. Jesus.
Yeah, not as good as you.
It's hard to be as good as me when you didn't score as many points as I did.
Touche. You kind of sounded
that is how fantasy football works.
You kind of sounded like Barstool president there doing a pizza review.
One bite. Everybody knows the rules. One bite.
Kareem Hunt, he took a lot of bites. A lot of bites. Anyway, week 1. Did you enjoy it? Did you have fun?
Not one.
I did.
Kyle did.
I did.
Like I said, kind of a weird week 1. Let's go over some of the headlines. Just some stats I heard around the league today. 30 fewer offensive touchdowns than last week 1.
Jesus.
Crazy. The defense has scored plenty of touchdowns, right, Spencer?
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I forgot.
The Rams defense.
Sorry, I forgot about
possible.
We'll get to that.
God.
Yeah. Well, trust me, we'll have plenty of time for that later, Dante. Speaking of that, 4 of the 8 highest scoring quotes from this past week were defenses and special teams. That's insane.
That's literally insane.
Yeah.
And
good thing we didn't do IDPs, right?
I bet everyone's missing IDPs this week.
Yeah. Well, I think Becky might have maybe sniffed 100 points if she had IDPs. I don't know. Probably not.
JJ Watt, 3rd round. Lock him up.
He's also raising millions of dollars.
Yeah, we'll stick to sports, Dante. Come on. Let's see. Oh, top 4 quarterbacks of the week. If somebody would have told me this going into week 1, I wouldn't have believed them. The 4 S's. Alex Smith, Matt Stafford, Sammy Sleeves, Trevor Siemian.
Oh, my God.
Matt Stafford, you throw his name in the top 4 or 5, I believe it.
Sure. I think the most shocking one is it's either got to be Simeon or Alex Smith. Like Simeon had that rushing touchdown, so I guess he actually might have had 2 rushing touchdowns. I don't remember.
He had 2.
So he had 2. So that kind of boosted his score a little high. But fucking Alex Smith, the dink and dunk god.
He wasn't dinking and dunking this week, right, Rob?
Not really. He was airing it out. Sorry, I got a little dumpling.
You got a little dumpling in your mouth, leg roll.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a little cream in his mouth.
Little crab rangoon.
Kareem Hunt wasn't dinking and ducking, that's for damn sure. I'm sorry. Enough about him. The other big storyline, first-round fantasy drafts. Who were duds? A lot of them. No, wait, Dante, Julio Jones. Sorry. I'll cut that part out, too. This just wasn't your week, man, but you did all right.
Was not my week.
Rookie running back stars. Spence finished roster baiting and then just restart it later. But the rookies went off. Great week all around. Any other reactions to the overall week, gentlemen?
I kind of feel like this is one of those weeks that, like, it's just so random with, like you said, the top 4 quarterbacks, who they are. The fact that there's 30 less touchdowns this year compared to last year. Defenses scored so many points with the top scorers. The rookies killed it. I just feel like they got guys like Julio, and maybe it's biased, Le'Veon Bell. I would say David Johnson, but nope.
R.I.P.
Yeah. You know, guys like that, like you're going to start seeing them kind of blow up again and kind of get back to the rhythm and start putting up points that we would normally expect out of them. Maybe it was just a dud of a week, but fuck, it was fucking painful.
Yeah, I really hope this isn't a sign of things to come because there was so many like outliers that all happened at once this week that if this is a foreshadowing of how this season's going to go, it's going to be a long season, ladies and gentlemen, a very long season.
It's kind of weird too that like if you look at everyone's scores, only 4 teams out of the league out of the 12 scored over 100 points. Like normally this is a league where we're real competitive. Everyone's kind of scores a shit ton. I mean, Becky didn't crack 80. Dylan didn't crack 80. Sko, unsurprisingly, didn't crack 80.
No.
Slick didn't crack 80. I think it was a bad week. You either did really, really well or your team completely shit the bed.
Agreed.
Yeah, I wish I could relate, but
fuck off. If only I could have been playing like fucking one of the teams that didn't go off.
That was one of the points I was going to make, Dante. You were the highest scoring team to lose this week. It's kind of unfortunate.
I didn't think about that until just now. So thanks. That really fucking makes me feel better.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's what I'm here for. Rivalry, bitch.
So in points scored, I'm 5th, and I fucking lost.
Yeah, it's tough.
Fantasy football is a fickle bitch.
Kyle, is that a beer?
It is a beer.
Oh, that reminds me. I forgot about the beer of the week. I just got so caught up in my team. I was drinking the Kool-Aid from Big Baller Blunts. Got a little high off the blunts.
Me too.
Selection was slim at the bodega, but I went with one that I've heard about. I haven't given it a try yet, so I went with it. Flying Dog Brewery, Raging Bitch.
Good beer.
It's like a lot of you guys this week. You were all raging bitches about your fantasy teams.
That's their IPA, right?
It is a Belgium IPA. It's actually very tasty. I was a little surprised.
Bobby Colt's beer of the week.
All right, let's jump into the rest of the matchups. We'll start with the second leading scorer of the week after me, of course. Carl Ventura. Team Ventura. Wow, what a creative fucking name, Carl. You're lucky you fucking won this week with that type of name. That's embarrassing.
He said he would think of something better.
He played Dylan. New England Clam Crowder. Not Dylan's best. He came in second to Carl this week, that's for sure.
It looks like someone pissed in his Crowder.
Oh, is that New England style? Is that how they do it up there, Dante? Take a wicked pisser in the chowder.
Take a wicked big pisser right in the crowd.
Wow, tasty. Yeah, Carl kind of dominated this one. Kyle, thoughts, instant analysis.
Looking at Carl's team, his team performed as we expected it to. I think Stefan went a little high, but I think his team really kind of stepped up like we would expect. Dylan's did not. I think he really kind of hurt with that missing of Jay Ajay. I don't know how much that would have affected because it obviously wouldn't have made up a 50-point gap, but I think that definitely is one of those spots, especially in his running backs, that Eddie Lacy killed him this week. Yeah,
definitely. Dante, what do you think?
I mean, he definitely is missing Jay Ajay. I also think, Scott Tolzien didn't help out T.Y. Hilton at all. Anything Dylan would have done, it wouldn't have made up the difference. I think it speaks a lot to like Carl's team, and Carl's team is scary good with the trio of Gordon, Shady, and Zeke. As long as Zeke is on the field, but even without Zeke, if he does get suspended, because fucking I have no idea what's happening with that. He still has an awesome running back combo. The Stefon Diggs, I think, was a huge surprise to fucking everyone, even probably himself. I don't think Diggs is going to be someone who's going to put up numbers like that. But I remember Carl after the draft that was the guy he wanted, and like that was the guy he was going to go out and get, and he did, and it really paid off for him week 1. But I mean, he also has DeAndre Hopkins sitting on his bench too. So like his wide receivers are a good combo, or a good core, I should say. His running backs are a good core. Carl's got a solid team. I'm not surprised he put up the points that he did.
Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Crazy that Carl's bench almost outscored Dylan's starters.
Hashtag bench mob. Let's get it. Carl, another note I want to make is Matt Stafford balled out. I think he was the only starting quarterback in any of our lineups that put up over 20 points. The true second leading scorer of the week. My mistake, Spence. Fuck you, you're still Sacco.
Fuck you, Sacco.
But yeah, the rookie running back God got that fetish going real nice this week.
I really wish they would have made a bet if Spencer won, Dante had to wear shorts above his knee. I really wish they would have.
That's a good one. We should have thought of that.
But Spencer's got another one of those teams this week that put up consistent points, and then he had one player go absolutely insane. Or should I say 11 players go absolutely fucking insane. 33 points from a defense? Get the fuck out of here. That is an anomaly. Even so, Spencer's team looked good. Dante, Julio kind of really hurt you, I think, this week. You had pretty solid production. Woodhead going down really hurt you too. So we'll see. What are your thoughts with Woodhead going down? Do you have a certain guy in mind going forward? Because you have a lot of running backs on your bench.
So I have some things in mind to replace Woodhead. I mean, I'm able to put him in my IR slot, which is awesome. But it fucking sucks that he's out 4 to 6 weeks, especially because like he had 33 receiving yards in the first quarter. So like when I was seeing him go off, I was just like, yes, like great, this is perfect. Like this is validating everything I wanted, or that pick. Like this is everything I wanted from him. And then that lingering hamstring just fucking got him. So that sucked. The only reason I really started him at flex was because Devontae Parker was on a bye. I would have put Parker in at flex in that spot instead. But yeah, Julio hurt me. I mean, Eric Decker 2.5 was nonsense. I'm not expecting necessarily Eric Decker when he was on the Jets. Was it 2 years ago or last year when he had like 12 touchdowns? But I expected more than 2.5 points. Yeah, I mean, there's some promising things on my team. The running backs were what I wanted. Carlos had a little bit more. I mean, Matt Ryan, for example, had 300 yards passing and 1 touchdown, so I expect his numbers to go up. Julio's obviously would go up then. But I was most pleasantly surprised with Marlon Mack and Paul Richardson. So those are the 2 guys that I was most happy with on my team.
Let me just kind of be the devil's advocate to your happiness because I'm your rival.
Fuck you.
Marlon Mack only got those points because they were so far behind that they wanted to take Frank Gore out because they were concerned, I guess, to kind of sympathize with you a little bit. He did prove that he could do a little bit of work. Got that touchdown. I still wouldn't trade for him, so don't bring that weak shit in my DMs. But and then Paul Richardson, 7.9. I mean, if that's a pleasant surprise to you, then wow, it's kind of sad.
Well, can I defend myself? Whatever you want to say about Marlon Mack is fine, but he had the same amount of carries as Frank Gore, and Frank Gore only had 40 yards. And granted, Marlon Mack's touchdown is really the only reason he has points. But to see a rookie get 10 carries, to get the same amount of carries as Frank Gore, and get a reception for 21 yards, and get a touchdown, I'm happy with that in his first game. And in regards to Paul Richardson, I'm not done, Robert. In regards to Paul Richardson, when they got rid of Jermaine Kearse, when they traded him to the fucking sucky ass Jets, no one was really sure who was going to fill in his slot. If it was going to be Tyler Lockett, who was a stud rookie last year, if it was going to be Paul Richardson. And the fact that Richardson had 7 targets, I mean, he only caught 4 of them, but 7 targets for 59 yards. If you throw a touchdown on there, we're talking he has a 15-point game. So 4 catches, 59, 60 yards, and a touchdown would be amazing. So that's why I was pretty happy with both of their performances.
Yeah, I think there's reason to be optimistic with Richardson. It's good to see that he was getting use out there for a team that really had zero run game at all.
Shout out
and
to Dylan.
yeah, shout out to Fat Lacey, really doing work. I think he played like 3 snaps. We'll talk about that later. Yeah, I mean, for a team that was passing the whole time, I think that Seattle offensive line looked bad.
Yeah.
Bad. Could not protect Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson is going to have one of those years where he rushes 50% of the time.
I agree.
Like, I mean, maybe Rawls comes back and can really change the pace up for that team, but that offense looked bad. I mean, Green Bay's not a notorious defense, but, I mean, they're solid.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
And the Rams defense is not going to do that on a weekly basis. They do not play Scott Tolzien every week.
No, I fucking hope not.
I mean, great play. Kudos for Spence. Didn't draft a defense. Picked them up off the waiver wire. Great pickup. I think that's like, what more can you ask for there?
That's his strategy that he wanted coming full circle into play.
Yeah. Tip his hat. He learned from his Sacco mistakes, at least for 1 week. Let's before we get into some of the other matchups, though, I want to go back to Danny Woodhead. Or should we call him Daddy Wooddead? How much of you picking him was just like, fuck you, Rob, rivalry? I'm going to take him if he's going to kill it, and you fucking regret not taking him. How a little bit. You had to have a little bit of that in there.
A little bit. It was definitely in the back of my mind. Like, how great would it be if I get Danny Woodhead and he just fucking goes off, and that'll be such a slap in the face of Rob. But honestly, dude, I was so high on him, and I was just like, a new team. He has a full year to recover. A team that running backs, all they do is pass to him. He was my 3rd running back at that point. I was just like, yes. Like, this is – I mean, I knew it was high, especially because I took him over Kareem Hunt, which obviously was a fucking dumb move. But,
a little bit. At least week 1.
At least week 1. But
through 6 or 8.
Yeah. But honestly, if he didn't get hurt, who knows what he would put up. So it sucks. I mean, I can't do anything about it but move on. So you live and you learn, man. Danny Woodhead, you're dead to me. If anyone is interested in a 32-year-old running back with hamstring problems, I will sell him on the low.
Slide in them DMs.
He can go right into your IR spot. Doesn't even take up a roster spot for you. You essentially get 2 free roster spots on. Think about it.
Another big name guy went down. We already talked about it a little bit, but we have to bring it up just because he was probably the top player overall rated this year coming in. David Johnstead.
David Johnstead.
Big hit for Becky. Guys, I'll let you weigh in since I was a little busy roster baiting earlier. How do you think this affects her team now?
David Johnson is, for any fantasy team really, I feel like is that guy. Like, no matter what, that's a massive blow. And then he's at what, 3 to 4 months, they said?
2 to 3.
2 to 3 months, that's majority. Like, that's a good portion of this fantasy season. And you're losing the number 1 guy. That's tough. Let's see. She has Derrick Henry, Jaquiz Rodgers, and Deion Lewis. That's tough to fill. To fill those shoes of that guy. That's tough. I think she's gonna have to make a move for something or make a big pickup on the waiver wire.
So he's out until November, December. November at the earliest.
So that's like right before the playoffs.
Yes, I agree, man. Becky's. Like, it sucks. And, like, honestly, like, I normally would laugh at people who lose a player, but, like, I really like David Johnson. Like, that fucking sucks, especially week 1.
Those guys.
Yeah, like, it's hard to hate that guy. But, you know, it sucks, Becky. So she's definitely going to have to make a move, especially after, you know, Frank Gore kind of having a dud. And, I mean, maybe it is because, like Rob said, they were down so much that they didn't want Frank Gore in it, trying to throw more. But that offense doesn't look good because they don't have they don't have Andrew Luck. They don't have a quarterback, so they're going to need to run. They're going to rely heavily on Gore and Marlon Mack. And if Gore can't produce, David Johnson's out, then you start looking at her bench, and Derrick Henry isn't the number 1 running back yet. Who knows what Jaquiz Rodgers is going to do, but Doug Martin's coming back in 3 weeks.
4 weeks now.
Yeah, and, you know, Deion Lewis, I wouldn't touch anyone in New England's backfield. So, yeah, Becky's either going to have to make a trade and flip one of those wide receivers, or
I think she's going to have to spend high on – there's like there's like 3, maybe 4 running backs that are even worth the waiver wire draft right now, and I think she's going to have to spend heavy if she wants one of those guys.
And we all know Becky last year did not spend a single waiver wire point on anyone. So
I think we're going to see we're going to see her spend big right out the gate.
Yeah, I guess it can go either way with Becky. She can either like sit back and wait and just have the mindset, oh, it's week 1, no big deal. Like guys are going to pop up. Like there's going to be other guys who are going to pop up, whether it's week 4 or week 7, who are key fantasy waiver wire acquisitions of the week, or she's going to have to spend some waiver wire money, and I would probably credit that to Mike being in her ear saying, hey, fucking spend some money and pick someone else. Stop being some cheap bastard. It's ironic that Becky calls people cheap, and she doesn't spend any of her goddamn waiver wire money.
Triggered.
Fuck. How do you have the balls to call us cheap when you refuse to spend your waiver wire money?
Because she would have spent the $12 on the app.
God.
Triggered.
Give your goddamn waiver wire points to Slick at least.
Fuck that. I'll take them.
We all know that guy fucking needs it.
Sure does. Yeah, I think the biggest thing with David Johnson going down is Becky's draft strategy coming back. So if you guys remember from the draft recap podcast, shout out to Carl and Spence. Like we talked about that, being a little bold and getting Tom Brady in the second and getting your guy, but her depth is shit. She reached for Frank Gore. That's kind of a consensus. Maybe, not necessarily that she'd have a number 1 guy to fill in for David Johnson, but like she's fucked right now. She definitely could have drafted a little bit better to put herself in a better position for worst case scenario. Like David Johnson was going to carry her team. You can't bank on that solely. Just like Le'Veon Bell putting up a dud week, like Mike's team still had to come up and carry him. So gotta live and you learn.
Yeah, looking at her team, like just not to like sit on her team too much, but like really taking David Johnson out of it and analyzing, like it's not great. Like you said, man, there's no depth. And I mean, we know like obviously Tom Brady isn't going to always put up 9 points, so we expect him to bounce back. Frank Gore most likely will put up more than 5 points, but with how bad that offense looks, I don't think he's going to do much more than that. Larry Fitzgerald, 10 is kind of 10 to 13 is my average for him, is where I think he's going to live. Ife Daddy's going to definitely do more than 0.9, but if Andy Dalton plays anything like he did this past week, continuing the season, I wouldn't want to touch anyone on the Bengals. She is definitely in trouble. And if I'm Becky, I am concerned.
Yeah, she's got to hit that waiver wire, spend that money, hit the DMs, slide on in, Becky.
You'll probably hear this after the waiver wire's done. So,
definitely.
Sorry, Becky, if you didn't spend that money.
Well, we can do a prediction on if we think she's actually gonna. Like,
I think she does. I think she has to.
I'm gonna go with no, just because it's Becky. I think she's gonna be stubborn and not. Okay. I think like you hit it on the nail on the head that Mike's gonna be in her ear and go with Tariq Cohen. I don't know when that happened. Tariq Cohen, Kerwin Williams is the obvious choice to replace David Johnson. So I don't know if neither of them come close to replacing him, but I say no, she's not. She's just going to be stubborn.
So then let me ask Kyle this. How many points do you think she puts? Like what would you set like the over under at? 100?
Okay, total? I would say, yeah, I could see her if she were to get both players, I could see her risking 100 to 125 between those two players.
So we're talking 60 points each.
Yeah. I don't know what everybody else needs, so like that could be enough, but who knows? Like it's so hard to judge because like now we're at a new point with waiver wire points. We don't know what people think is a lot versus what people think is a little. So we'll see.
All relative, man. Exactly.
Fuck you, Slick. It's all fucking relative.
Yeah, I definitely think Becky's gonna have to spend. Like I think like Becky's stubborn, but I don't think she's ever been in a situation like this where she loses a guy, not only like one of her top guys, like the best player in the draft, consensus number 1, her fucking boy David Johnson. I think she's gonna have to bite the bullet and spend, and I'm gonna say Becky's gonna spend total no less than 130 points this week. I think we're all going to wake up tomorrow at 8 a.m. and be like, fuck, Becky spent a shit ton.
I can absolutely – if she doesn't get – I think there's one guy she wants, and I think if she doesn't get that guy, she makes a trade within 3 weeks, if not sooner.
Only problem is, man, if you're trading with Becky, you're trading with Mike.
A little collusion, you think?
I know it. I know it for a fact.
Becky, this is what happens when you don't reply to my ats in the group chat. Hunter Henry puts up a dud. I wanted him. Puts up a zero targets. And David Johnson gets hurt. That's what happens when you fuck with the god. Last dead guy is all dead, Robin dead. And I'll only bring him up because Kyle's here. I think he was maybe a borderline relevant player this year. Kyle, how you feeling?
It sucks because, like, he was kind of like my lock-in flex guy. Like, I didn't really – like, I kind of was constantly going to start him. Like you said, nobody knows what Jacksonville's receivers are going to be with fucking Blake Bortles as their fucking quarterback. So it sucks. I had somebody in my waiver slot or in my IR slot already. So I was contemplating whether or not to move him, but I found out I couldn't make any other moves because they apparently took my guy that was in my IR slot and made him actually eligible to play. So I had to make some moves, and Allen Robinson is now in my IR slot, so you bitches can't get him for a low price.
And now for something completely different.
I thought Bodak's team name was shit too, until he made that logo, and I realized until I realized he was playing Mike, but then I thought it was hilarious because he was trolling him. And then he made the logo, and it even made it even better. Yeah.
Shout out to Bodak on that logo. That's fucking gold. That's the best thing I've seen out of you, Bode, in a long time. I'm proud of you.
I didn't like Bodak's team name, but the logo actually like makes his team name now like acceptable and okay. Like, it's so good.
It's so funny.
Well, now we talk about their team names and their logos. Let's talk about their play on the field. Bodak pretty handedly wiped the floor with Mike.
Yeah.
Fucked up defending champ, bubonic plague. Bode didn't catch it this week. Guys, thoughts on Bode's domination of the champ? I'll go to Dante first.
Yeah, man, Bodak whooped his ass. Especially and surprising when his running backs combined for 10 points. But I mean, when AB has what was the number? 182 yards,
yep.
11 catches, like fuck, can't really top that. His defense puts up 24. Golden Tate as a flex puts up 16. Tight end put up 13. Solid week for Bowden. If you would have said going into this week that Bodak's best running back would be sitting on his bench while he was going to play Mike, I would have said Mike would have killed him. And it just did not work out in his favor. Mike's team just really shit the bed. I still think Mike has a good team overall, but Le'Veon Bell only putting up 6 points against the Browns is incredibly surprising. Jordan Howard's 14 is fine, but a little low in my opinion. The Adrian Peterson start for Mike really surprises me and doesn't make sense. I mean, looking at his bench, I guess I get it because he probably would have started Jarvis Landry instead. But I don't understand why anyone wanted to draft Adrian Peterson this year, and Mark Ingram for that matter. Like that backfield is crowded with those two and Alvin Kamara. It seems like Hakuna Kamara. It seems like a team that has no idea what to do with running backs. And I mean, even before, like last year and the year prior, when it was just Mark Ingram and Tim Hightower and Cadet, and there's one more fucking guy I'm forgetting. It never is good news for running backs in New Orleans. And I was very surprised to see that Mike started him.
It's crazy because Thursday night we all laughed at Bodak for literally keeping Gillisley on his bench.
Yeah.
Put up 22 points. And he still managed to beat Mike by almost 40.
Yeah.
Fucking insane. It sucks. Like, it's funny to me since we went from talking about people on IR that Bodak now has two people on IR on his bench since the Texans now put Fedorowicz on IR. Le'Veon Bell sucked for Mike this week. I laughed hysterically when Jordan Howard dropped basically the game-winning touchdown at the 1 yard line. I laughed hysterically at that.
Yep.
I don't like the AP. Like, I agree with you. I don't like the AP thing. But Mike's bench, I mean, apart from Landry, it's kind of like a toss-up of who you would want to start.
None of them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Landry would be the guess, but he was on the bye, which sucks. But
yeah,
that's pretty much it.
I think Landry's the only one on Mike's bench you actually could start with any confidence. Sterling Shepard, unless the Giants unless this week with the Giants offense was an anomaly and they bounce back next week, to me it just doesn't even make sense. The Giants looked bad, and not just not just bad, but like awful against a team that doesn't really have that great of a defense in Dallas. But like Robbie Anderson, you never would start. Thomas Rawls didn't even play. Probably is not going to play this week. James Conner's just there because Mike needs a backup in Le'Veon Bell because of what happened last year. And like Cameron Brate, sure, I get it, but I've never been the person who likes starting two tight ends, so I never have two tight ends on my team. I think only like once in the 2 years or 3 years we've done a tight end is eligible in the flex. Has it actually worked? And I believe Spencer did it one year. Maybe he did it twice. But like that's it. Like it never seems to work out. So I just don't understand Mike's bench. He doesn't have much depth behind his starters. He has good starters in my opinion, but his bench is not good.
A lot of questionable picks. I mean, I think you're right with Landry being in. That's his go-to flex guy. So we'll give him another chance. And to put up 84 with Bell putting up a dud and Landry being on the bench, and the guy he got in the 5th round, Jameis Winston, that's his quarterback. Not that Wentz didn't hold his own, but I think Mike will definitely bounce back. But I think it's just hilarious that Bodak won. Congrats to Bodak.
Yeah. Hashtag not my champion.
Shout out to Bode.
But you're going down next week, buddy. I'll see you, and don't enjoy it while it lasts. Kyle, guess what?
What, Rob?
You're up.
Oh, am I?
Rawls is war. Rawls is war. That didn't sound right coming out of my mouth, but that's your team name. And oops, I did it again, Junior. Not Becky, but Sco's.
Yeah, I feel like I'm having deja vu with this fucking team name.
Why do you have a team name of a guy who's not on your team?
Because I wanted something wrestling related because I named it before the draft.
Yeah, but he's not on your team. You can't think of anything else? Like you have Jared Cook. Like do something with The Rock and like smell The Rock is cooking.
Honestly, I had no interest. I had not given it any thought whatsoever. Like a team name right now was the last of my concerns.
You are just as bad as Carl and Peter, in my opinion.
No, because I had to change team name. Fuck you. At least I'm not Team Ventura or Team Asmus.
You might as well be.
No, I have a different team name. Fuck you. At least I'm not Oops, I Did It Again Junior.
I said that was the worst team name.
Like, that might be worse than Keepy Team Thornton.
The thing is, I don't think Sco knows. Like, I don't think Sco knows that was someone's team name before.
No, there's no way. There's no way.
Well, that would mean he didn't listen to the podcast, and if that's the case, I'd be disappointed. But yeah, let's talk about the rest of what happened with your team. You didn't have too much of a competition, but at the same time, your team really didn't perform that well. Three in double digits, one of them being the defense. How does that make you feel, Kyle?
Yeah, I felt like my team really underperformed this week. I don't know what the fuck happened in Cincinnati with fucking Andy Dalton throwing 4 fucking interceptions. 4? What the fuck?
I think like 2 of them were tipped in his defense, but he put up negative 5.5 for the benchmark.
I mean, not even him, but like he killed, like his shitty performance killed AJ Green. I was disappointed in Alshon's performance this week. It sucked because like I already had the game won at this point, but like CJ Anderson had a touchdown called back on a very late flag. I lost Allen Robinson, which sucked, but overall, I think my team underperformed, but I'm not worried. Like it was a weird week, so going forward, if this continues, I'll get worried. But like right now, I'm not really worried.
You should be.
Oh.
I second that.
You should be. You should be very worried.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
Because like, so who's your flex to replace Allen Robinson?
It's gonna be Corey Davis, I think, right now.
All right, so you're entrusting a rookie who's number 3 on that team. He's the 3rd wide receiver, who is probably the 4th passing option when you throw in Delaney Walker on a team that has 2 really good running backs. Got it. Your tight end is fucking Jared Cook. Got it.
He's my backup.
Who's your regular tight end? OJ Howard?
OJ Howard.
A rookie.
Yeah.
A goddamn rookie. Okay.
Hey, don't you talk about the rookies that way. You know
I'm
what?
not talking about rookie running backs. I'm not talking about rookie running backs. I'm not talking about rookie running backs.
You better not be. You
God,
better watch yourself.
I would be concerned, man. Like on paper, your team sounds great with AJ Green and Alshon. Like I love that combo on paper. But if this is the year that Andy Dalton takes a significant step back, maybe this was a fluke, maybe it was, but if he takes a step back this year, it's only going to hurt you with AJ. Alshon obviously should do better with the Eagles, but like your running backs, man, like CJ like looked fine in parts last night, but I saw Jamal Charles doing well too. And overall, I wasn't impressed with what the Broncos did, so that is concerning. The Texans don't seem like they have fucking any clue what's going on, and I think that plays a lot into Bill O'Brien, or I think that's a lot of Bill O'Brien's fault, I should say. Plus, they're starting a rookie quarterback. I would be concerned, my man. You also kept the kicker, so there's that.
A kicker who got outkicked this week.
He did.
Yeah.
It was weird.
So, Sco, if you want to take a moral victory, Kyle's keeper kicker.
You can take that moral victory because I take that fantasy victory anytime over that fucking moral victory.
I hate weeks like this where like there's a matchup where like it always seems to be like fucking Sco too. But like a team puts up like next to nothing, and then someone else who the guy who beats them also puts up nothing. So it's a win for Kyle, right? So like it sucks, like whatever, how Kyle's team sucks, but like he's a win now. And like that win is going to be big down the road, and like that pisses me off. Like if Kyle put up like 120 or 100 points, I'd be like fine, like Kyle's got a good team. But oh fuck, but 86, like, and you get a win, fuck you.
You just mad like you outscored me and lost. Like I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. That's 100% why I'm mad.
Ooh, you mad?
Like that's the matchup, though. That's fantasy football. Be mad.
So,
I am.
Kyle, this is pretty much where I projected you to be a middle of the road team, and while I think your team has the potential to be better, especially Lamar Miller, I think Deshaun Watson coming in, that team's going to be a lot more scary with him being able to run the ball and throw the ball probably a lot better than fucking Tom Savage can. I think Lamar Miller benefits there. CJ Anderson can probably be a little better. AJ Green can be a little better. Alshon, I think, will break in a little bit with Wentz. I could see you having quite a few of these weeks where you are good enough to beat some teams, you'll get blown out by other teams.
Hey, and you know what? And it sucks, Dante, because you're the only non-winning team that scored above me. I still finished in the top 6 in scoring this week.
That's all right. Can't argue with the numbers. That's the way the weed cookie crumbles. On to the next matchup. I guess it's the worst one of the week. Yeah. Mike's Vic Barbershop versus the creative Team Asmus.
Why don't you take this one, Cummish?
Yeah, I feel like Slick would want me to, right?
New rivalry, bitch.
I don't even know where to start. It's kind of scary. I didn't want to take this. I was gonna leave it off to you, Dante. Yikes. Yeah. So Dante, you were the highest scoring team to lose. Peter was the lowest scoring team to win. You two play each other next week. Revenge?
God, I don't know if it's necessarily revenge, but I definitely need to do something and whoop his ass for the culture.
He's already talking his shit.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Peter. He'll eat enough fucking apple pie to put himself in a food coma again, and he'll forget about his lineup or something.
He'll wake up at 12:45 and be like, "Oh, football's on. Let me see."
Yeah, yeah.
Is OBJ playing today?
I mean, even with like, where to start?
I know, right? It's not. It's just like a blob of random numbers that aren't very good, but also not that bad. But altogether, it's just bad. So
I guess to look at Peter's team first. Like, obviously, Aaron Rodgers is going to put up more than 14.5. Tough matchup, but at home, I expected more at him. That sucks. Your keeper, Isaiah Crowell, 9 points first week against an okay Pittsburgh defense. Kind of sucks. Even though Peter's going to be saying, "Oh, 9 points, that's not bad. I'll take that. Jonathan Stewart. I'm just calling Jamal Stewart. Jonathan Stewart, solid 15 points, and that's probably the shining star on Peter's team. Maybe besides Jason Witten on his bench.
Yeah, no, his three highest scoring players were all on his bench, and then Jonathan Stewart.
His bench.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I didn't notice Jarek McKinnon.
The spark god.
The spark god outscored his keeper.
Yeah, hilarious. Yeah, Peter's team overall doesn't scare me much. I think on paper it looks good with OBJ back in the lineup next week. Should be good. I don't remember off the top of my head who the Giants play, but Doug Baldwin is someone I really. I'm sorry.
The Lions. I'm sorry to interrupt. They play the Lions.
Oh no, you're good. Oh, they actually had a good defensive game. I mean, granted, they played Carson Palmer, who threw a shit ton of picks, but I like OBJ and Doug Baldwin. Doug Baldwin should be able to eat next week against the Niners. Pierre Garçon, I mean, since they're obviously playing the Seahawks, I don't really expect much out of. I'm guessing Peter's probably going to start Jordan Reed and Jason Witten because Mark Ingram was a stupid fucking start in my opinion. But yeah, I'm overall I'm not too scared of Peter's team. But then looking at Slick's team, oh fuck, dude. God,
I hope you hear that laughter.
Right, that's your rival. Kyle, do you just want to take it over from here?
Yeah. Let Kyle take Slick's team.
Bro, it's not even a team.
Oh. Talk that talk.
Come on. DeMarco, 7 points. Sure, bad week. Christian McCaffrey. Oh, he's going to be the next wonder of fucking Carolina. That offense looked awful. Cam looked bad. And I'm a Cam fan. He has 3 Carolina starting offensive players starting this week.
Remember when I tried to take one?
What happens to that when that offense continues to struggle, Slick?
And they played a bad defense, too.
65 points.
So the parts of that I saw on like red zone was just Cam not making good throws. He threw the ball a lot, which I think was good based on like him coming off an injury or whatever. But like he was overthrowing Kelvin Benjamin, who's 6 foot up, like 95. Like the dude, like how do you overthrow him?
Yeah,
I don't know. I would not start all 3 of them every single week. Like
ever.
You're gonna hit 3 out of 3 maybe once this season.
Yeah.
It sucks that Mike Evans didn't play for him this week, but I don't know if that would have been.
Say Mike Evans gets 30 points, which is very gracious. Like he's still not even breaking 100.
Yeah.
But I don't know if, just to jump over to Peter's team real quick, does anybody remember if he drafted Chris Johnson?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Because now he looks like a fucking genius because he just re-signed with the fucking Cardinals.
No, I'm not gonna say Peter's a genius because of that, because that's literally dumb luck.
Yeah, it's dumb luck.
It's the same thing with him getting OBJ. It's dumb luck.
True, yeah. Okay. He's having a lot of dumb luck this season, though.
The thing is, Peter did. I guarantee you, and I would bet my life savings on this, which isn't a lot. It's at least $12. I would bet you that Peter had. I would bet you that Peter had no idea Chris Johnson was not on the Cardinals when he drafted him.
Not a chance. I completely agree.
I could see that. I could 100% see that.
Looking at flipping it back to Slick's team, it's awful when you start 3 wide receivers and they combine for 12 points. Especially one is Devontae Adams, who was your keeper, who I was I was very adamant and vocal about that being a bad keeper, especially looking at who he could have kept on his team from last year, and he put up a dud. 6.2 sucks. Especially when Jordy Nelson had like 17. Randall Cobb had 13, I believe.
Tyreek had 23.
Who?
Tyreek Hill had 23.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that should have been his keeper. Absolutely. Yeah. I was talking about Packer wide receivers.
Oh.
So, like Jordy and Randall Cobb both put up over 10 points, and Devontae Adams had 6. And then Kelvin Benjamin, like you said, like him and Cam, that combo is exactly, I think, what you think it is. You're gonna hit on some weeks when Cam throws for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, and Kelvin gets 2 of those and 90 yards, and you're gonna have games like this where they won, which is great for the Panthers, but neither guy really did anything. I expect Christian McCaffrey to bounce back as a rookie running back god, but yeah, if I'm Slick, just as we said about Becky, who should be worried, I would be petrified if I was Slick, especially because the dude only has 3 running backs.
Hey, Slick, here's a positive for you, bro. At least you correctly benched your 6th-round Seattle Seahawks defense in favor of, I think, the Cardinals defense, who I don't even remember if you drafted.
He did draft them because he drafted 2 before like half of us drafted 1. But I mean, that whole point and a half, I think that really made the difference there.
Hashtag bold.
Yeah. So for Slick, for as much like shit as I talk, because it's mostly just out of fun, because I know you're involved and you like to do it. I think your team will be better. I think if all of them could have had a down week, they did. Devontae Adams was matched up with Richard Sherman for almost that entire game. Tough. But look at I don't know if that even would come up in a scouting report. The Benjamin McCaffrey Newton thing, dude, trade one of them, bro. They've all got value. Like,
I think I agree with you though. Slick should try and trade one of those fucking 19 wide receivers that he has. Slick, come to me. I need a wide receiver. But when he tried to give you Chris Hogan for Terrence West, like that was a dumb trade on his part. Like obviously you're not going to accept that. But yeah, he's in trouble, man. When you only have 2 players in your starting lineup score over 10 points, and one of which is your defense, you are in serious trouble.
Yeah,
he hit 3 people in his entire team score over 10. Like his team's obviously going to get better just because it has to. But fuck,
the ceiling is the roof.
It sucks for him. Like it's not that Mike Evans didn't play, but
yeah, he made it seem like his whole team revolved around Mike Evans, and that
they all know Mike Evans is
like he didn't have that bad of a week, and if Mike Evans would have played, he would have won. Like maybe because you were playing Peter's shitty team, but like I don't know. Peter, I think, could maybe do better too, but Jordan Reed has a broken toe. I'm pretty sure that came out today. Like his toe is broke.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's hurt already.
I'm pretty sure they like just shoot it up enough that he can't even feel it during the game. So.
Oh fuck yeah! It looks like he fractured his toe.
Yeah.
Didn't we have a bet on
he's always hurt?
Peter is in a better situation depth-wise, only because of like Theo Riddick and then Odell being on the bench. Like you can't count that against him. Like I said, I think Peter has a good starting lineup if all of his guys are healthy and can go, but the rest is kind of meh. So I think he's another middle of the road team.
Yeah.
Slick. I'm still going to beat you week 11 no matter what kind of trades you make. I'm just saying. So, all right. So now that we've gone through all the matchups, not just based on this week, but overall and going forward, give me your top 3 teams and then give me your bottom 3 teams. We'll start with Dante first.
So I'll start with the bottom 3.
Start with your top 3.
My top 3?
This is my show. Do what I say, Paige.
All right, my top 3. This is in no particular order. I would go Carl. Fuck you, Carl. I'd go Rob. And even though we are in a rivalry, bitch, I do like your team. I like your team a lot.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Stop on roster.
Say it again. Say I'm one of the top 3 teams, Dante.
Fuck off.
Come on.
And then
I'm getting a little chub.
even though this guy didn't win and didn't put over 100 points,
don't say yourself.
Didn't put over 90 points, I'd still give it to Mike as a top 3 team based off of total roster. I think this week was a low point for Mike, and I think Mike will bounce back. So after week 1, those are my top 3 teams. Carl, the Cummish, and the soon-to-be former champion.
All right. Kyle, why don't we just jump to your top 3, and then we'll do bottom 3 later.
So I agree with you on 2 of them, Dante. I think Carl's in my top 3 teams. Rob, you are also in my top 3 teams. And my third team is going to actually be Spencer's team. I think Spencer, even though he's very reliant on those rookie running backs, if they can continue to produce like they have, I really like his wide receiving core top to bottom, and I think Spencer's bench is actually better than Mike's. And Spencer doesn't even have one of his keepers anymore. which I find hilarious.
Who was one of his keepers?
Willie Snead. He's not on his team anymore.
Oh shit! I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Edit this out, Rob.
I didn't realize that. I'm like call him out in the group chat.
But those
All
are
right,
Carl, Rob, and Spencer are my top 3 teams.
Carl, Robin, Spencer. Carl, Robin, Spencer is Kyle's top 3 teams. You know what? That sounds pretty damn good. I'm just gonna agree with you straight up. I think, but I'm just gonna reorder it as Rob, Carl, Spencer because I'm better than all of them. Obviously, yeah. I think I have the depth. I think Kirk Cousins is only going to get better. I think Devontae Freeman's going to do better than 10.9. Terrell Pryor and Amari Cooper each got like 3+ red zone targets, even though they only had 1 touchdown between the 2 of them. Sky's the limit there. Carl, like we said before, they are who we thought they were. His running backs, Stafford's going to put up points. I think the biggest question mark is the wide receivers and then Spencer's rookie running backs, if they can hold up, and then if Andrew Luck ever comes back from the dead. So Dante, we'll swing it back to you. Bottom 3. I can kind of already guess where you're going to go, but
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'll even put it in order. The worst team in the league, I think is SCO. Then followed closely by Slick, and then finally Becky.
Ooh,
was my bottom 3.
Wow, big jump. So SCO is remaining there from the draft. We kind of recapped that he was the worst, so he stays there.
Yeah.
Slick
it
and
also
Becky
annoys me that SCO doesn't takes out his entire starting lineup every week, so it's hard for me to figure out who's on his team. So
he's playing mind games.
That's why I gave him the nudge over Slick, who also has a very bad team.
Slick and Becky taking big hits though.
Honestly, Becky's
Becky, obviously,
because of the David Johnson thing. Yeah, if David Johnson doesn't get hurt, I think she'd be right in that middle of the pack, for me. But looking at her team closely, just the lack of running backs, I would say Becky's. Sorry, Becky.
All right, Kyle, what about your bottom 3?
I think the worst team in the league to me is Slick's team, followed very closely by SCO. Oh, I'm in such a toss-up at this last one. I think I have to agree with Dante and go with Becky strictly off the fact that, like he said, with David Johnson hurt, it's that killed her team. I think if it wasn't for him, like he said, she would be middle of the pack. But right now, that really hurts her team.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a reason to disagree with you guys, and I really can't.
That's where I was at too. I wanted to disagree with Dante, and I couldn't.
Yeah,
it's just you can't I think SCO and Slick are the 2 obvious choices, and if you're not going to pick Becky, your only other people are Kyle, me, Dylan,
and Peter,
Bode, Peter.
Yeah, I mean, as much as we would love to argue over this, just sounds like you guys got to get better and give us a reason to not put you in the bottom 3. Slick, I think you have a fighting chance. All right, you guys want to do bold predictions next?
For the bold.
Who wants to go first?
Kyle can go.
All right, bold predictions. Dante, why don't you go first?
I fucking hate you. Well, so my bold prediction is that Slick and SCO's game combines for 130 points.
Bold.
You know I put up more than that.
Yeah, I know what you put up. And to get even deeper, #deeper,
Ooh.
I think SCO doesn't crack 60.
Wow.
That's pretty bold.
That's
I haven't looked at the matchups, but I'll take your word for it because you're a bold motherfucker.
Lock it up.
Lock it up. Bold. Kyle, What do you got? Can you out bold him?
I don't know. That's tough. But my hashtag bold prediction for this week is I think Mike bounces back from his week 1 loss and sends Dylan on a little bit of a losing streak and whoops his ass by 60 points.
It's getting bold out.
It's going to come second again to Mike by a lot. All right, those were pretty bold. Let me see what I can do. All right, I got something. Kareem Hunt
Oh, Jesus Christ.
gonna drop
Fuck
60 on the Eagles. He's going for 5 touchdowns, 200 total yards. I don't know if that adds up to 60. We'll make it work. Put it on the board. Bode. Oh, he's gonna shit down your throat. Oh my God, it's gonna be crazy.
For the bold.
Yeah, 0 fumbles.
If Kareem Hunt puts up 60 points, when I play you, Rob, whenever that is, I won't start anyone. I will bench the entire team.
I love that. All right,
You heard it
Deal,
here
hold on,
first
wait.
on the podcast.
guys, we're doing this over.
If Kareem Hunt
Hangouts.
puts up
Making games.
60 points himself, I will not start anyone when I play Rob.
Absolutely, I'll take that. I don't know when I play you, but I'll. We have the video and audio evidence now. Bodak. Side note: when you listen to this, I'll probably put it in the group chat before you listen to this. I want to make a side bet with you, just for shits and gigs on the outcome. All right, let's. You guys have any closing thoughts? Let's let Dante go to sleep for his interview. Me.
Fuck you, Peter. I'm not gonna get what do you say, clapped.
Boy.
I feel like Peter reads words online to make himself sound
He
cool.
finds words on Urban Dictionary and just uses them in real life.
Reddit.
Or it's like, well, no, Peter's more of like a 4chan guy. It's like the websites that I don't use that all these like internet terms that he tries to use in real life. I don't understand it.
Are you gonna get like pwned?
Is that still a thing?
I don't know. It's internet shit. I don't know.
I have no idea. Whatever. But I'm gonna shove a fucking apple pie down Peter's throat and whoop his ass this week.
I'll probably like that. Kyle, closing thoughts?
I'm going to get Spencer so high that he forgets to set his lineup. And fuck you, Slick. Rivalry, bitch. Rivalry, bitch. Rivalry, bitch.
I feel like Claire wouldn't allow that.
I'll get Claire high, too.
All right, we'll cut this part and then we'll save it for evidence later, so he doesn't hear that and see it coming. But we'll say that you planned it all along.
Oh, God, that would be so fun. Could you imagine?
That'd be cheating.
No, that's impossible. I feel like that's the first thing Spence will do.
Pretty sure that's a felony. That's not cheating. That's a felony.
How's that a felony?
You're drugging somebody.
No, you're not. You're not drugging him to like take advantage of him. You're drugging him so he doesn't.
I'm taking full advantage of him.
Kyle's gonna roster bait.
I'm benching his fantasy league. That might be worse.
Kyle's gonna roster bait all over Spence's unconscious weed cookie body.
You would have to answer to the Hanson at the pearly gates.
I would.
That might be worse.
That might be worse. If I go in hell, all they show is commercials. Thoughts.
What's your closing thoughts, Robert?
Well, guys, I had a great week 1, and we all know week 1 doesn't last forever. I put up like 150 last year. I don't think I even sniffed that number again for the rest of the season. Things can change. I know my team's only going to change for the better. And with that, I will say, fuck you, Dunta. Fuck you, Bode. I'm coming for that ass. Slick, I'll see you week 11. Until then, we'll shit talk in and out throughout the week. It's fun. It's real fun. And yeah, I'll leave you guys with the high score of the week. Get it?
Boom.
Score. Anyway, it's dedicated to 2 people I believed in: Kareem Hunt and Austin Hooper.
Fuck
Now
you, Slick.
please enjoy the soothing stylings of Believe by A-Track featuring Quavo and the incomparable Little Yachty. Lobo. See you next week, guys. Fuck you, Dante.
Shawty, cause she vacuum, suck me in the living room. Look at the rocks, ice in my watch. When I'm on the block, I run from the cops. Damn, did I forget to mention all these racks on me playing tennis? Write my name in the world Guinness. Take them back to the beginning. Take them back to the beginning. Back before LeBeau was winning. Back before I had $1 million. Back when I was car stealing. These niggas act like they feel me. If I got caught slipping on my soul, boy, I'm sure these niggas try to kill me. She said, how rich are you? I'm filthy. I perfect all my craft. Shoot a nigga like Chef. I sell $1 million slab. Then put your bitch in the cab. Do a show out in Rio. I just do it for the Migos. First time I met Amigo, I walked away with a kilo. Got a brick, shot free throw. Hit the pot with the people's elbow. Never go out like Nino. I'm in the water like Nemo. Who that is with the mink on? Look at my paper, Kinko's. Shoot at the block, then reload. Shoot at the block, then reload. Ball so hard, free throw. Bitch curl like a free throw. 20 bands, that's for every show. Got an Asian bitch, she love egg rolls. Got a black bitch with an attitude. When I tell her no, she just neck roll. Got a big sack and it's so big, well I swear to God, it just can't fall. I believe in you. They told you you can't, show them folks you do. Every bitch in the world posts us in their room. But I fuck with Lil' Shawty cause she vacuum. Suck me in the living room. I believe in you. They told you you can't, show them folks you do. Every bitch in the world posts us in their room. But I fuck with Lil' Shawty cause she vacuum. Suck me in the living room. She treat a nigga like a boss. I call my shooter, take him off. Hit the button on the nose. Young nigga taking off. Got a shot, it's all off. I'm about to fuck her jaws off. Put your bitch on pause. They call me Quavo J. Crawl. Middle finger to the law. Did what it take to be boss. Did what it take to be boss. This for my niggas who don't ever took a loss. This for my niggas locked up behind bars. This for my niggas who need extra push. They hated me like Bush, but I'ma still rise. Whoa, and I put that on my guys. RP to all my soldiers in the sky. I believe in you. They told you you can't, show them folks you do. Every bitch in the world posts us in their room. But I fuck with Lil' Shawty cause she vacuum. Suck me in the living room. I believe in you. They told you you can't, show them folks you do. Every bitch in the world posts us in their room. But I fuck with Lil' Shawty cause she vacuum. Suck me in the living room. Drop my top on my phone. Ain't no phones, no recording. Got my Glock in the morning. In that coupe, Jeff Gordon.